Take a look at what's next for the Colts as they come up now. Sunday night football. Not here, unfortunately. They're heading to Pittsburgh, Heinz Field. Yesterday, Pittsburgh, a 39-30 loss at Seattle. Ben Roethlisberger, big numbers. And remember, a year ago when the Colts played the Steelers, Big Ben threw for over 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. The Colts may not have to worry about Big Ben, though, on Sunday night because he left the game in the fourth quarter with a concussion. Perhaps we'll see Landry Jones at quarterback for the Steelers. Marcus Wheaton, by the way, 201 yards receiving and a touchdown yesterday. Lawrence Timmons, he leads the defense, 80 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and a pick. Andrew Stockey. Andrew Stockey is the sports director at WTAE, the ABC television station in Pittsburgh, and he joins us now on the phone lines as we look ahead to Sunday night. Andrew, thanks for coming on with us. I can't figure out the Steelers. Can you figure out the Steelers?
Can I figure out the Steelers? I have to watch them every week, and I have all this stuff going through my mind.
My apologies.
I don't know. No, it's been an interesting season, to say the least. And yesterday's game was probably the most interesting of them all. Right now, the Steelers are pretty much, at this point, what we thought they would be, a team with an explosive offense, even without Le'Veon Bell. Yeah. Remember, they put up those huge numbers yesterday without Bell. And defense, especially at secondary, that's suspect. And that was the case yesterday. I mean, as well as Seattle played, Pittsburgh was in position. They could have won that football game.
Absolutely.
Bad tackling, bad coverage, and the fake field goal, we're all still trying to figure that out.
Well, Andrew, I think you're going to speak to this. I mean, the turnovers yesterday just killed the Steelers. I mean, you talk about the fake field goal that was picked off, run back for 6, but then the other 2 interceptions that led to scores by Seattle. Other than that, I think the Steelers win that game pretty handily. It looked like they had it in control until the turnovers.
I know, I agree. I mean, they were -4. And when you're -4, as you know, Jim, you're not going to win a whole lot of football games. The field goal is the one that kind of sticks with everybody. It was early in the game because it was like, okay, you're going to start the second quarter after, at the tail end of the first quarter, you kind of acted like you were going to go for it. And then you bring in Landry Jones to hold. And, I mean, even the Seattle defense knew what was going on. Ramon Foster, after the game, said, or the Seattle offensive lineman said, hey, they were even saying, hey, look, watch for the fake because the quarterback's in there. So that's a head-scratcher. They didn't do a very good job of disguising it. Let's just say that much. But, it's difficult to win when you turn the ball over that many times. But at the same time, this Steeler team clearly has the offensive firepower to be competitive and be a team that can still make the playoffs. But now they've got to, I don't know, I wouldn't say win out, but I think 4 out of 5 definitely have a shot.
I mean, it seems like so often as Big Ben goes, so go the Steelers. What is the latest buzz, though, on this concussion? I know he's going through the concussion protocol, and that's always mysterious. You never really know what's going to happen maybe come next Sunday. Is there a chance, though, that they'll start Landry Jones next Sunday night?
If Ben cannot go, definitely. And I think there's a lot more confidence in Landry Jones. I mean, this guy has come off the bench twice to win games this season. His one start in Kansas City was a loss, and it was a difficult game to begin with. But the team is confident he's the quarterback that they can win football games. Right now, we're still waiting to hear the official word on Ben. You hear rumors and reports, but nothing official yet. The smart thing is Ben took himself out. I mean, he said, look, I have concussion symptoms, and he told the medical staff.
Wow.
So it could have been a whole lot worse if he stays in there. Obviously, he did stay in for, I think, 7 or 8 plays after the initial hit to the head. But then he told the staff, look, I got to get out of here. So we're waiting to see. We'll hopefully hear official word maybe later today or tomorrow. But if he can't go, Landry Jones, there's more than enough confidence in this football team that this guy can do it. And the good thing is, if you put him in, the offense really doesn't change. That was the problem with Michael Vick. Mm-hmm. It was a completely different offense with him. With Landry Jones, you can run the same plays.
Now, my question is about this defense. They started the season, they looked in disarray all over the place, just missing coverages and all things and giving up a ton of points. But then it looked like they figured it out for a few weeks and really played well. And then lately it's kind of been in between that. Not great, but not bad. What's the issue there?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the secondary. I think the front 7, they get good pressure on the quarterback. I think for the most part, yesterday was not one of those days. They have, in my opinion, the fastest linebacking core in the National Football League. You got, a bunch of number 1 picks back there, guys like Ryan Shazier, who, when he's healthy, is the fastest linebacker in football. Lawrence Timmons. I mean, you have a solid linebacking core. The issue is the secondary. Once you get past, William Gay, Mike Mitchell's a hitter, sometimes doesn't wrap. Russ Cockrell has not been effective. They just are a group, and Antoine Blake's another player who's not making tackles. I think that's their biggest problem. They don't, they go for the big hit and they miss the tackles, and that's what cost them yesterday. And the Seahawks win that game because what should have been maybe a game of 15 yards turns into a long touchdown because somebody doesn't make the tackle. Right. So a lot of it's been that, but they have the tools to stop people. I mean, they held the Cardinals in check, the highest scoring team in the league at that point. I believe held them to 13. They held the Bengals to 16 points. So they do have the tools there. They got to wrap and tackle, and that secondary's just got to play better.
It is essentially December football at this point, Andrew, and we've got the AFC playoff picture up on our screen. We will hear shortly anyway. Right now, the Steelers are the odd man out. They're on the outside looking in. You look at losses, obviously the Ravens lost. That was a bad one. Kansas City, perhaps, although Kansas City may have their stuff together at this point. Is this a playoff team, Andrew? What do you think?
It's interesting. The loss yesterday puts them in a position where they really lose all tiebreakers, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Are they good enough to get in the playoffs? Looking at their schedule, I think they are. I don't know if they go very far, but I think they're good enough to get in. What really hurts about yesterday is you lost the opportunity to control your own destiny. But the teams they have remaining, they can beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not an impressive football team, at least not the one we saw here in Pittsburgh.
Right.
The Colts game, I mean, that's going to be an interesting one to see how the Colts, how they do against the Colts here. I mean, Matt Hasselbeck, isn't the last time the Steelers saw him Super Bowl 40? Has it been that long?
Up in Detroit when he played for Seattle, is that right?
Yeah.
You might be right, yeah.
I think it's been that long. And that day, frankly, if he gets a few calls, he wins that game.
Yeah.
And then you look at the rest of the schedule. I mean, they can, the Ravens, not the same team. Browns, not the same team. So they're in position if they can, and they've got Denver too, still Denver. But if you can win those games, you got a shot. You got a shot. Whether they make any noise in the playoffs,
right.
That's tough to say. I don't think they do, especially if they have to end up playing, a first round game against maybe a Cincinnati team, a Denver team.
Or even, I mean, heck, they could play the Colts the way things shake out. This could be a playoff preview. You never know how these things are, how it's going to work.
Of course, they'd have to go to Indianapolis.
Exactly, which is
it's always a different outcome.
Which Colts fans are, I don't know if they're excited to see Ben Roethlisberger back in a playoff game in Indianapolis or not. But anyway, hey, last thing, Andrew. Thanks for coming on with us. A word from the Indianapolis Indians. Can the Pirates stop taking all of the top players from the team towards the end of the season? I mean, because they'd like to win another championship, but hell, the Bucks keep taking all the top players for the Indians, man.
Well, here's the sad part. They still can't get past the wild card round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. I tell you, it's a great system they have. In fact, today I believe the Pirates were named the Organization of the Year by Baseball America. So, the kids you're seeing out there in Indianapolis, those are the future major leaguers, talented kids, as you well know. Guys, we can't wait to get up here. Guys like a Josh Bell, there's a lot of excitement about seeing him up here. And who knows, we may actually see more of those guys this year because so far in the offseason, the Pirates haven't made any moves. I don't see them going to spend a whole lot of money for a lot of big-name pitchers.
Well, that farm system really is something, and Indianapolis has bared the fruit of their labors in Pittsburgh because a lot of big studs have come through Indianapolis, and I know Indians fans have enjoyed that. So we've enjoyed having you on. Thanks a lot, Andrew. If you need something this week, holler, okay?
You got it, guys. Take care.
All right.